fiery horse with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty hi-yo silver, the Lone Ranger. With his faithful Indian companion Tonto, the masked rider of the plains led the fight for law and order in the early western United States. The stories of his strength and courage, his daring and resourcefulness have come down to us through the generations, and nowhere in the pages of history can one find a greater champion of justice. Return with us now to those thrilling days of yesteryear. From out of the past come the thundering hoofbeats of the great horse Silver. The Lone Ranger rides again.
Come on, Silver! Faster, boy, faster! I'll Silver! Away!
After months of peace and quiet in an empty jail, crime struck in Centerville.
Is he dead?
Dead is right.
Shot through the head.
It ain't that this killer struck like that. It's the way he brags about it that riles me. Imagine, leaving a note and signing himself the Murder Kid.
That was the beginning. A murder, a note near the corpse, an empty safe. But that was only the beginning.
It's the Murder Kid! Why don't the sheriff get him?
What's the matter with the sheriff?
Sheriff Mitchell, this is the fourth time it's happened. We of the Citizens Committee demand action.
Now, Mr. Trim, Sheriff Mitchell is doing all he can.
You keep out of this, Deputy. I'll handle him. Trim, you and your Citizens Committee can make all the demands you want. If you can find a sheriff that can get this Murder Kid, you're free to do so.
Hey, Sheriff, there was another one last night.
What?
And here's the note. It's signed like the others. The Murder Kid.
Sheriff Mitchell grew thin and haggard with worry. He feared to face each morning in the news of further robbery and murder.
Eat your breakfast, Mitchell. You can't be sheriff long if you starve yourself to death.
Oh, I can't eat. Hang it all, Mary, ever since that Murder Kid started his work around here.
Going hungry won't get him.
I know. It's just that I ain't in the mind to eat. Who's there?
Sheriff.
Oh, hello, Bob. Oh, Mary, this here is Bob Means. He's a newcomer to town. He's doing book work in my office.
We met in the store. How are you, Bob?
Well, none too good, thanks, Miss Mitchell.
Well, son, let's have it. More bad news?
Yes, sir. Deputy Jackson sent me to tell you that the Murder Kid was at it again last night.
Oh, dear.
This time he didn't kill. He just robbed the post office. Left a note saying that he had done it.
Well, I'll see what can be done.
Well, Mitchell, you didn't finish your flapjacks.
Feed 'em to the birds, Mary. I can't.
That night found Sheriff Mitchell at his office long after dark, making plans with his deputy Jackson. He had to pass the bank on his way home. He saw a light, a dim light as from a candle on the floor. He crept close and saw Bob Means crouching before an open safe. The office door was open.
All right, heist him.
Sheriff.
Bob Means. What are you doing here?
Sheriff, now listen.
Get your hands up. Let me see if you got a gun.
No, I haven't.
Shut up. I'll see for myself. Why, Ginger, this here is sure a surprise.
Well, no, I can explain.
Save it. Here, what's this?
Huh?
Here's a note in your pocket. Signed the Murder Kid.
I don't know anything about that.
A note all fixed to leave here at the scene of your crime. By Juniper, you're the last one I'd have suspected. So you're the Murder Kid.
The following morning was gray and damp. Fog swirled and eddied about the Lone Ranger and Tonto as they rode through the wetness along the bank of Connor's Creek. The water, rushing from spring floods, was but a few yards away, but was invisible in the heavy mist.
They probably won't see the bridge until we're almost on it. That's right. But bridge plenty near here. We passed White Rock a minute ago. Wait, rein up.
Oh, Silver, easy.
We hear something on the other side of the creek.
What was it?
You hear it?
Yes, there's a horse on the other side of the creek.
Stay on your own side of the creek, do you hear me?
Bridge must be near here, Tonto.
Bridge just a few yards ahead. We see it now.
Don't cross that bridge. If you do, I'll open fire on you.
Who are you?
You know who I am. I know you're after me, but I'm not going back to town to hang. I'll shoot to kill. I mean that.
Him young fella.
Running away from the law. We'll get to the bridge. Come on, Tonto.
You've had a warning. I don't want to shoot, but I will. I'd sooner die fighting than go back to hang.
I'm coming over there to get you.
Get up there.
Him run away. Come on, Silver. Get him up, scout.
The masked men charged onto the bridge with Tonto close behind. There was a splintering and cracking. The bridge swayed crazily.
Tonto, get back. The bridge is falling. It's too late.
The bridge fell. The masked man and Tonto and the two strong horses fell into a raging torrent of water at flood depth. The Lone Ranger bobbed to the surface only long enough to shout, and then the swift current sucked him under. He fought against the swiftness, but his strength was futile against the mad waters. Debris from the bridge was on all sides. He again came to the surface just in time to see a heavy timber thrown against his Indian companion's head.
Tonto, I'll get you.
The strong swimmer, the Lone Ranger, tried to reach Tonto, but once more he was drawn under by the flood's relentless strength. As he felt himself grow giddy, he remembered the long drop at the waterfall, the drop that would plunge him to destruction on sharp rocks. Then, though barely conscious, the masked man felt himself gripped by a firm hand and raised to the surface. He saw a young fellow of about 18 supporting him, while he clung with his other hand to a rope stretched across the stream.
Hang on. I'll get you out of there. Almost to the shore now. Hang on. Hang on. That's it. Now easy. That's it. There. Now you're all right.
Tonto.
I got him out, too. He'll be all right. He's right there in back of you.
Oh?
Now, just take it easy. He'll be all right. Just got a rap on the head. Your horses are out of the stream, too. They're over yonder.
You saved all of us.
Well, I didn't intend to at first, but, well, I had to. The creek's narrow at this point. I ran downstream and threw a rope around a rock on the far side. Well, it's a good thing the fog had lifted some. And then I got a loop around that rock and hauled the rope tight and hitched it on this side. See, it gave me something to hang to.
You're the fellow who'd sooner go down fighting than go back to hang.
Well, I meant what I said at the time.
Who are you?
What's the odds?
You weakened the bridge?
Yes. I figured to cut off pursuit, but, well, I don't have much spunk. I lost my nerve when I heard the bridge go down. I couldn't leave you to die.
And yet you're to hang for a crime?
You're all right now. I'll be on my way.
Oh, just a minute.
You can't stop me. Your horses are over yonder. It'll take a few minutes for you to walk to where they're staked. By that time, I'll be well on my way. Come here, you.
What's your name?
What's yours? They call you the Lone Ranger, don't they?
Yes, but what's that?
They call me the Murder Kid. Get along there.
That lad is no killer. Here, Tonto. Tonto, open your eyes, Kimosabe.
Here.
That's it. You're all right.
How we come here? You get me out.
No, Kimosabe. The boy who said he would hang did it.
Why him do it?
Because he couldn't take a man's life. And Tonto, he made little of it. But he performed a feat that any man could be proud of. When you're ready to ride, we're going to find out more about that fellow.
Well, right now.
No, not just yet. You had a bad rap on the head. Stay there for a few minutes. I'll get Scout and Silver, and we'll follow that boy's trail both ways.
Meanwhile, Sheriff Mitchell ate his breakfast with enjoyment for the first time in weeks.
I'll have another stack of them flapjacks, Mary. By ginger, they're prime this morning.
Gosh, they're just the same as they've been for past 20 years. Nothing different about 'em, Mitchell.
Well, maybe it's just that I feel more like eating.
No, I'll see who's at the door. Eat your breakfast.
All right.
Morning, Mary.
Oh, Mr. Trim. Mitchell, it's Mr. Trim and Mr. Hawks and Mr. Taylor.
Well, howdy.
Morning, Sheriff.
Come on in and sit down, gents. Grab yourselves chairs, and Mary will make some more flapjacks.
Mitchell, we didn't come here to eat. Taylor and Hawks and I are the Citizens Committee.
Yep, I know that.
We held a meeting last night soon after seeing the kid in jail. We decided that you were the one that was entitled to the reward money.
Oh, Mitchell.
Yes, sir. Ain't that so, gents?
That's right.
Well, now, hold on, Trim. Maybe I did capture the kid, but I can't take the reward. Hang it all, I could use it. I sure would like that $1,000, but, well, I can't take it.
Why not?
Because I'm the sheriff. I'm paid by the county to capture crooks. Now, I didn't do anything excepting what I'm supposed to do.
You got nothing to say about it. It's yours, and we brought it along with us, and here it is. I put it right here on the table, and if you won't take it, I reckon Mary will see that it don't get swept up with the leavings of your breakfast.
You would at that.
All right, gents. And thanks no end.
Now, we'll bid you good morning.
Goodbye, Sheriff.
Goodbye, boys.
Morning, Mary.
Goodbye, gentlemen. Goodbye.
Don't spend it all in one place, Mitchell.
Oh, Mary, I'm a cussed lucky fool, that's what.
You ain't to touch a penny of that money.
Eh?
Mitchell, I ain't satisfied.
What do you mean?
Just that. I ain't satisfied. And I won't be till Bob Means comes to trial.
You mean to say you think he ain't the guilty one?
I don't know. Did he admit being the murder kid?
Well, of course not, but you wouldn't expect him to. Why, even if he did, the law would insist that he stand trial and have it proved. He couldn't be hanged for murder, even if he did admit it, you see.
Just the same,
Mitchell!
Oh, that's Jackson. Come on in. What's the matter, Deputy?
Mitchell, he's escaped. He busted out of jail.
Ooh.
The kid?
Yeah, he got out during the night. Must have got hold of a knife or something. He stabbed the guard.
Dead?
Deader than a drowned rat.
Oh,
The doc said the guard been dead for a couple of hours.
How'd he get out?
Unlocked the jail door. He must have had a key for it or picked the lock or something.
What about a horse?
He got a horse. He took the guards. Have been hitched nearby. He took the guards' guns, too.
Confound it all. Oh, hang it all anyhow. Why is a crook like that got to pick this town to work in? Jackson, are there any tracks?
I ain't looked yet. I came here as fast as I could. I found a note in the cell where he was being held.
A note?
Here it is, Mitchell. It's addressed to you, so I didn't open it.
what is it?
Why, the nerve. The cussed out-and-out brass of him. Here, look at this. He tells me that I'll get the reward for his capture. He says that it ain't my fault he's got away. I'm to keep the reward and pay it to him.
Pay him?
Yeah, I'm to put the cash at the White Rock near Connor's Creek, and he'll get it there.
You'll do nothing of the sort, will you?
I don't know.
Let me see that note.
He says if I don't, he'll deal with you, Mary, as he's dealt with others.
That means murder. He means he'll kill your wife if you don't leave the money for him.
That's what he means.
And, Mitchell, he's just smart enough to do it.
You take that cash right back to the committee, Mitchell. I'll not have you paying tribute to a murderer for my sake.
I've got to think this over.
Think it over.
Mary, I'm up again a killer that's smarter than I am. And doggone it, I'm scared.
The curtain falls on the first act of our Lone Ranger story. Before the next exciting scenes, please permit us to pause for just a few moments. now to continue our story. It was well after noon. Sheriff Mitchell sat in his office after a morning in the saddle. With him were Jackson, the deputy, and some of the men of the Citizens Committee.
The jail, it seems, won't hold him.
It'll hold him the next time. We won't waste time. We'll have the trial of days captured and hang him the next morning.
I suppose you'll have no trouble making a case against him.
There'll be no trouble. I got all the notes he's left, and here's the pen and ink he wrote 'em with. Right here on the desk he used. The skunk.
Imagine him writing those notes right here in this office.
Well, he's plenty of nerve there. Say,
What's the matter, Trim?
the door.
Huh? What's the...
Masked.
Stay where you are, all of you.
Hey, see
Steady
here.
there,
you-
Sheriff. Don't go for a gun.
You won't get away with busting in here masked and with a gun in
I'll
hand.
get away with more than that, Deputy. For example, I'm going to get away with the evidence against my friend.
Your friend.
Evidence?
Yes, that's right.
Wait, don't point that gun at me. Don't shoot me. I didn't hurt you. I didn't do anything.
Take it easy. I'll take those notes, Sheriff.
You pay for
That
this.
pen and the ink.
You'll hang for this. You'll hang right alongside the murder kid.
Don't try to follow me. I might throw a few shots at the first man to leave this office.
Now, wait, I want to talk to you.
Another time, Sheriff.
Get him! Stop him!
You're lawman. Go after him. Don't let him get away.
He's got the evidence.
Stop or I'll fire.
Get him. Shoot. Shoot. Did you get him?
No, I didn't get him. At the rate that white horse is was traveling, there's nothing on four legs can get him.
Mitchell, why don't you get a posse and go after that masked man? Do I have to tell you how to run your job?
No, Mr. Trim, you don't. Kid is smart, plenty smart. What if all of us go out after that masked man? We couldn't overtake him with any horseflesh around here. And then who's left in town to watch in case the murder kid comes here and captures my wife?
The sheriff knows what he's doing, Mr. Trim.
We'll set the trap tonight.
You're to put the money beneath the white boulder.
Yep, it's the big boulder on the bank of Connor's Creek, right near where the bridge was.
Can you watch it?
I don't know, but we'll try.
Sheriff! Sheriff, that rabbit all have been robbed! You come to my store and be quick. I've been robbed.
Hey, Ron.
Yeah, it was a tall man, taller than me even, and he wore a mask.
The same one.
What'd he take?
I don't know what. He made me turn my back. And he took something from the shelves of my store, then he put some cash in a counter and skedaddled.
You say he left cash?
Yes, some.
Then how do you know he robbed you?
I don't know what he took. Maybe he took 10 times what he paid for.
The same masked man that came here.
Was he on a white horse?
Did you see the horse?
Yes, I seen it. I seen him riding here, and I was on my way here when he was in your office. Well, I could see his horse ground hitched outside. I seen him ride away from here like a bolt of greased lightning.
Hank,
Huh? Oh, what is it, Mr. Trim?
if he intended to rob you, why did he leave cash?
Well, I don't know.
If he intended to pay for what he got, why did he make you turn your back?
I don't know, unless it's so as I wouldn't know what he took. I don't know any more than I told you. You figure it out.
After the Lone Ranger left town, he rode at top speed to a small camp where he dismounted and waited. Presently, he heard hoofbeats approaching. He looked out from the sheltering trees and saw Tonto with a young man whose hands were tied.
Good work, Tonto. Me catch him. Bring him back here.
I don't savvy you. The redskin told me you weren't going to hand me over to the law. Then why'd you bring me back?
Bob, I've been in town.
Oh, learned my name, huh?
I learned more than that. Did you know that there was another murder last night?
Well, one more or less don't matter now. They'll only hang me once.
You're not a killer. Untie his hands, Tonto. And dismount, Bob.
Looks like I gotta take your orders.
For the time, yes. If you'd been the murderer you're suspected of being, you surely wouldn't have saved my life.
What difference does a man's innocence make? I know when the cards are stacked against me.
You know who stacked them?
Well, what good's knowing if it can't be proved?
Perhaps it can be proved. I got something from the store that might help to prove it.
What's that?
Let me tell you something else I learned. The murdered kid left a note in the jail. A note for the sheriff.
Well, it won't be the first note the sheriff's had from the murder kid.
Now, this one warns the sheriff that his wife will be killed if he doesn't leave $1,000 beneath the white rock.
The skunk.
Whom do you mean? The sheriff?
No. I mean the buzzard that signs himself the murder kid.
Not you.
Of course, I'm not the murder kid. Why, I'm nobody at all. I'm just a convenient critter that can hang for what someone else does. I'm the drifter that got a chance of steady work in the sheriff's office and thought at last I had a smidge of good luck for a change. I got a chance to stay alive when I found my jail door open and a man with a mask telling me to clear out and save my neck while I had the chance.
A man with a mask?
Well, not you. He was a big gent, but not as big as you. Well, I don't know who he was, but I did know. I knew I'd hang if I didn't vamoose, so I kited. Then I thought you was after me. I intended to let you die in the creek, but I didn't have the nerve.
Bob, sit down there and rest. We have a little while before we go into action.
Action? For what?
To find the murder kid.
In the late afternoon, the Lone Ranger rode out from camp on a mission. When he returned, he stopped only long enough to pick up Tonto and Bob Means. Then he and the others rode to town. Meanwhile, Sheriff Mitchell was strapping on his gun belt with Mary watching, with her eyes filled with worry.
I'd sooner run the risk, Mitchell. Why'd you meet this man's terms and pay him the $1,000?
2 reasons, Mary. First, maybe we can catch him when he tries to get the money. And second, if we don't get him, he will get the cash, and then he won't come and kill you.
I just wouldn't have believed it of young Bob Means.
Well, it must be so. Otherwise, why'd he run away? Well, he's got an innocent look about him, but some of the worst killers have that look.
If he gets away with the cash this time, won't he do the same thing over again?
Yeah, we might get him.
You don't hold much hope, though, do you, Mitchell?
I don't know, Mary. He's slick.
The White Rock is on flat ground.
Yep.
If you get close enough so as you can see him, then he can see you, can't he?
Well, maybe so, maybe not. It all depends on how well we can be hid.
But there isn't much of any place to hide.
Well, we'll do our best. There'll be 4 of us. We'll watch all sides of the rock. Mary, did you hear anything?
Like what?
Hoofs outside. Yeah, maybe the boys have come for me.
If they have, they're a little early. Mitchell, look.
The masked man.
Hey, Mitchell. We're here to help you.
Who are you?
And an Indian.
And a friend of yours, Mitchell.
The murder kid.
Sheriff Mitchell.
So you ain't even giving me a chance to leave the cash. You come here
Drop that gun.
Get him.
No, please.
Close the door now.
If that redskin hadn't slapped my gun down...
You might have hurt someone, and you'd regretted it for the rest of your life. Sit down there and listen to me.
Before I listen to the masked pale of the murder kid, I'll fry in my own fat.
I'm going to tell you what I took from the general store and what I did with it. Now, sit down.
A short time later, the deputies arrived at the sheriff's home and reined out. Jackson dismounted and rapped on the door.
Hey, Sheriff, are you ready?
Jackson, you and the boys go on. You can go and watch the rock without me. I figure that with things as they are, I better keep an eye on Mary.
You're not going?
I might join you later. The kid has a pal, you know, the masked man.
Well, whatever you say.
You go on ahead and let me know what happens. If any of you can capture the murder kid, I'll split the reward.
All right. Come on, boys. We're going without the sheriff.
Get up. Come on.
Jackson placed the other deputies with care. They were some distance from the rock and well spread out, so each side could be watched. They hugged the ground closely, guns ready, and had their last-minute instructions.
Now stay right here till you hear shooting. I told each man the same thing. If you see anyone go near that rock, shoot first and then close in.
I can't see anyone unless he comes to the rock from this side.
If he comes from any other side, one of the others will see him, savvy?
Where'll you be?
I'll be on the side of the rock nearest the creek.
It's too bad there ain't a moon.
Well, there ain't, and that's that. Now look sharp. And don't fall asleep.
The hours of the night dragged slowly, and several times the watchers thought they saw a moving shadow, but each time a closer scrutiny proved it to be nothing but imagination. Then, at the darkest hour, the night was suddenly split by gunfire.
Come on, boys, he's come.
Men ran toward the boys. They converged on the rock and found Jackson highly excited.
I saw him. He stuck up on the rock and got the cash. Did you get him? No, but I saw the direction he took. Man, he got across the creek. I know it sounds like a big undertaking, but he done it. I saw him. He come right out of the water and got the cash and then went back to the water again.
Wouldn't be easy to cross that stream as it is now.
But that's what he done. Hey, there's more men than we started out with.
Yes, Jackson. Several more.
Including me.
I got a lantern here, boys.
Sheriff. Mitchell, what are you doing here?
I heard Bob Means.
I'm here.
Hey, now, let you have it.
Don't be so quick to shoot, Jackson.
My hand.
Boys, say, stand where you are till I get the lantern going. There's a lot you got to learn.
This man's masked. Yeah, and this one's an Indian.
Here, Sheriff. I'll take care of the lantern. I got a match here.
Man, in the first place, Bob Means has been with the sheriff since early evening. He was nowhere near that rock.
Here's the lantern.
That masked man's the one that robbed me.
Hank, he didn't rob you. He bought a can of white paint in your store, that's all. And he paid for it. He and the sheriff told me the whole thing.
White paint.
If you didn't have your store so cluttered, you'd know what he took.
And he took it to paint the white rock. The paint is still wet. Takes a couple of days to dry. Now, boys, you'll find that the critter that stole the money has his hands smeared with white paint.
Why, you framed me, you double
Jackson, look at his hands and arms, all smeared.
All right, searching for the cash.
I'll take your hands
critter.
off.
Here it is.
By thunder, Jackson, it was you all the time. You framed Bob Means. You knew when he couldn't prove an alibi, and you robbed and killed at those times. You used his pen to write the murder notes.
I won't be taken alive.
Like fun you won't.
Hey, that's the stuff, Bob.
Oh, I hoped I'd get the chance to knock him down.
Well, you sure did. But why didn't you say you was innocent?
Oh, what good would that have done? Jackson was a deputy sheriff, and he was on the inside where he could frame me as tight as he needed to. He was the one that sent me to the bank that night you saw me. He showed me a letter of authority from the banker and sent me to get some papers out of the safe. Then before I could explain, you found that note in my pocket, and I knew Jackson had framed me.
Was it Jackson that let you out of jail?
Yes, and he showed me how there'd be evidence to hang me if I didn't hightail. Well, I figured the only thing to do was clear out.
And you did.
Yes, until the Lone Ranger caught up with me.
The Lone Ranger? Is that who that masked man is?
The Lone Ranger? Where is he now? Where'd he go?
Hey, boys, where is that masked man?
Well, he must have gone, and Tonto with him.
The story you have just heard is a copyrighted feature of the Lone Ranger Incorporated.